Welcome back to our Healthy Communities podcast. I'm Dr. Phil Huang, Director of Dallas County Health and Human Services. And in today's episode, we're talking about our Ryan White program, a very important program at DCHHS that provides services for persons with HIV and AIDS in Dallas County. And joining us today is Sonya Hugues, our Program Director for the Ryan White program. Sonya is a dedicated advocate and a wealth of information about HIV and AIDS in Dallas County. So welcome, Sonya, and thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
So first, I just wanted to ask a little bit about the history of the Ryan White program and who was Ryan White?
Yes, Ryan White was a prominent American teenager, an advocate for HIV. He was diagnosed when he was 13 years old because he was a hemophiliac and had to receive blood products. And during one of his transfusions, the blood products were contaminated. So all he wanted to do was, attend school, but the stigma at that time prevented him from doing so. And so it was a long battle for him, but he ultimately died at the age of 18 prior to the Ryan White Care Act being named after him in 1990, which provided comprehensive care and support services for people living with HIV.
Well, again, thanks to that history, and because I know we hear about the program, but don't
Mhm.
always know why it's named the Ryan
Yeah.
White program. So, can you give us a little overview of the Ryan White
Yeah.
program in Dallas and some of the significance in its fight against HIV and AIDS and in our community?
Definitely. The Ryan White program in our community helps provide medical care and support services for over 11,000 people within a 12 county region. It's instrumental in providing medication access, providing medical transportation to get to the appointments, as well as um, counseling, substance abuse treatment, and a multitude of other services.
Okay. And so again, you mentioned
Hmm.
medical and support services, but
Hmm.
maybe what are some of those specific services? Because,
Yeah.
that really help people maintain their health and quality of life. There's a lot of important things I know.
Definitely. Primary care is extremely important. We also, in the Ryan White system, offer oral health care, mental health services, substance abuse treatment, uh, health insurance assistance for premiums and co-payments, as well as medical transportation, case management services, as well as housing assistance.
And who's
Mhm.
eligible to receive the services and how do people sort of access that if they're interested?
Yes. Individuals who have been diagnosed with HIV are eligible. They do have to meet residency and income requirements. And so, based off of the funding that we do receive for the Part A funding, it's comprised of 8 counties within the North Texas area. However, with the Part B funding we receive from our state health department, any resident in Texas is eligible to receive services from one of the 9 agencies that we fund across North Texas.
Now, hold on. What's part
Mhm.
A, part B? What's the difference with that?
Yeah, definitely. The Part A funding that we receive comes from the Health Resources and Services Administration. Um, the funding we receive is calculated based off of morbidity, so the number of AIDS cases within our community. And then there's also a competitive component for which we write an application response every few years.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on the Part B side is funding that the Health Resources and Services Administration provides to our state health department that funnels down to us for other services.
Okay. So, what are some of the key challenges of the
Mhm.
program, in particular in reaching underserved populations, and how are you addressing some of those barriers?
Definitely. Stigma remains one of our greatest challenges, particularly in serving the marginalized population and getting those engaged in care who may feel judged or have other competing priorities.
Okay. And well, how
Mhm.
do you address stigma or what, because that is an important
Mhm.
aspect. And I know it keeps people, a lot of people from getting services and things like that.
It definitely does. What we're doing here locally is embarking on a national technical assistance learning collaborative to address stigma within our program here at Dallas County, in addition to the 9 subrecipient agencies that we fund. We were also able to hire a stigma reduction coordinator whose sole role is to identify ways to reduce stigma within the Ryan White program.
Okay. And what are some of the other future goals and priorities for the program in Dallas? And
Mhm.
how do you see it evolving over time? to meet these changing needs in our community?
Sure, great question. So we're always looking for ways to engage people who are no longer in care, reduce HIV transmissions, and provide equitable medical access to all persons who have been diagnosed and those who are at risk of diagnosis.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the Ryan White program?
Yes, I would also like to share more about the Ending the HIV Epidemic program and the peer navigation team that they have. So that if there are clients who are needing peer support because they don't have, friend or family support, there is a program here to support clients on their care journey, and the peer navigators actually accompany clients to appointments.
So, finally, how can people contact us if they want to find out more or sign up for the program?
Definitely. We have a website for the Ryan White program, and all of our 9 service providers that we fund. Contact information is included there. They can also contact our department directly at 214-819-1849. And for clients that are interested in the peer navigation program, they can contact the Ending the HIV Epidemic team at 214-424-5781.
Thank you so much, Sonya, for joining us today and talking to us about this important program serving Dallas County and making an impact on HIV and AIDS in Dallas County. So be sure and join us for our next episode of our Healthy Communities podcast, where we talk about public health issues in Dallas County. And be sure and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.